There's a lot to talk about today about using food to make the world smaller, but learning requires asking questions and exposing yourself as someone who doesn't already know something. Taking a risk to look ignorant, engaging in uncomfortable listening, and of course, checking your own mindset to make sure you're curious about treating a continent's cuisine as a curiosity. Now, in today's show, we have a local legend with his business partner who set the tone in this city of his remarkable food signature that fills people's belly with happiness and keeps them coming back for more, man. Which is quite irresistible, yeah? They're about to dish out some of the secret ingredients that keep people coming for more. Make some noise for Dampha Kitchen, damn it! Make some noise! Thank you so much, guys, for coming. It's been a pleasure, to have you lot here. I know we've been wanting to do this for a while now, but now that you guys are here, that's good. So obviously everybody knows Dampha to my right and Arman to my left. How you guys doing tonight?
Fine, we're doing well.
Yeah, exactly. And what about yourself, man, Arman?
I'm doing good, thanks for having us. Looking forward to it.
Nice one. So what's the meaning of Dampha?
Dampha is my family name.
Is it? Wow. Oh, you know. Nice one. So Mr. Dampha it is, right?
Mr. Dampha, yeah.
Is it the right pronunciation? Because a lot of people, or some people, pronounce it as Dampha.
Dampha, yeah.
It's a far. Well, that's no brainer. Yeah. Nice one. So how did you both link up or meet up?
Through a mutual friend, actually. At the time, I think it was just after the lockdown had ended in summer, and I was looking for somebody to do a pop-up, and the mutual friend said, you've got to meet Khalifa. He's this amazing guy. He's doing pop-ups all over the place, and you guys should really meet. And then we kind of linked over social media, met a few times, and it just kind of took its own course from there.
Yeah,
yes.
Nice one, wicked. And what's the concept behind the restaurant actually? What's the concept behind it?
Concept?
What's the idea exactly? The whole idea behind the Dampha kitchen business?
Well, the idea was this was starting in 2020 during the Corona, the first lockdown. I want to be an entrepreneur, to do something, because I'm here 10 years now, from Spain to Austria. I was working always for somebody and I was tired of that. I wanted to do something because I was thinking, if I come from Barcelona where you have a beach, you have nice food, my family, why I'm here doing something that I don't like and working for somebody. And these 2 months at home, the first lockdown was 2 months.
Yeah.
Was the best time to me to realize what I want to do. And let's start to read books, to get more knowledge about life, about entrepreneurship, business. And I was having a book, like a map, and I was writing every 2 days business plan, whatever, with cars, with Gambia, sporting, importing. And one of the things, this business plan was about food, cooking. Mm-hmm. And I say, cook, African food will be nice, because you have to do something that people need, not that people have. You have something exactly. If you want to do something that people have, you have to do better. If you do something new, you have to be very good. Huh? So exactly. I say, maybe African food will be good here because we don't have. Yeah, we have, but not for white people.
Right.
You understand what I say?
Yeah, of course.
So I say, okay, African food, yes, African food, but what kind of African food? So I say, okay, let's do a fusion about my life, my childhood.
Nice one.
Spain, because I born in Spain, and Gambian food because I was eating this at home. My mother, my aunts. And I say, let's fusion this kind of food, these two foods, because I grow up with this. It's not something that I make alone. This is food that I grow up. So the concept was like this, to do this, like a restaurant, a place where our community, African people can come, white people, African, Arabs, all together, because the food was also halal, Muslim.
Nice, what wicked.
And this was my plan, to do a place where, a safe place that people come and enjoy and eat, and our culture, West African food, and African cuisine in general.
It's a great atmosphere, mate. Like when I came, I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is a different setting, and I've been there how many times? 4 or 5 times, haven't I? I've been there quite a lot. Exactly. So
At least.
exactly. So it's great. I mean, it's always a pleasure to be there. And I've seen the peak times of the restaurant, and it's always fully booked. Man, that is madness. Like, whoa. So what advertising tools do you normally use for advertising since it's busy? Is it word of mouth, or is it through social media and all that? Or do you have somebody that takes care of the advertising side of the business?
The thing is, this started 2 years ago.
Right, so people knew about it already.
Yeah, I was doing.
But you're in a different location now. I mean, it's quite central.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was starting in an office. When I was doing the business plan, I have a friend, I have money. He say, I want to do a restaurant. And thank God he say no, because he didn't know nothing, he didn't have customers. He say, no, I don't want to do this. I was doing gastronomy before, and I'm tired. If you want, he have a office, like a co-working space.
Yeah, okay.
So he say, if you want, you can come once a week and you can cook it here, and the workers can buy your food. Mm-hmm. And I say, okay. This was like a small place, like here, like a canteen, no?
The food
people
canteen.
Canteen. The workers was there eating, and then there was
like a pop-up.
Yeah. No, it was like a kitchen, like the workers, the office people was there, was eating there, like. And they say you can sell your food there once a week. So one day before, you send the menu and people will choose what they want. Jollof fries, blah, blah. And then, 10 people was eating the food. Yeah. And then he said, if you want, you can invite your friends. Huh? I say, okay. So I started, because I know with marketing, with manager, with social media, I say African fusion cuisine, first one in Vienna, blah, blah. I was doing photo shooting with a good friend of mine, and people was, wow. And one day was, I think a 30 person was there in this office that day. Yeah, he said you can invite your friends. And then he was calling my friend, the boss. He said, what is this? A lot of people here inside. He said, you can invite my friends. And then I said, no, there's a lot of people here. No. If you want, you can stay here with the workers, but your friends can come here, because this is small here. People have this office. I said, okay, I go. And then I go to the Indian restaurant in the 60th Street. Nam restaurant. Okay. And then I started there to do every Tuesday. And the first day was 110 persons.
The first day?
Yeah. Wow. Because this is the market. I have a good friend, I have a camera and pictures.
Right.
And I know how to write. It was something new. The first African fusion cuisine in Austria. Spanish. The first. Yeah, Spanish and Gambia. It was something new, and fusion, people. So I was before modeling, 2014 till 2019. So I have a lot of community and a lot of connections. So everybody was coming. It was since from April till April till October, since the second lockdown. It was every week full booked.
Wow.
And then there was coming all the newspapers, Courier,
of course,
Standard,
journalists and all that.
Blah. So people was getting to know me. This guy's doing the once a week, blah blah, and they was happy to see. They was wishing me, I hope you have a restaurant one day. And then this opportunity come with Armandan. That's why all these people come back. They see the transaction. So they see the hard work, delivering, cooking once a week. They see all this hard work, and they come, and then they believe in this story. This is not something that you start one day and say, okay, let's see if people come. I know it. If I open, the people will come, because this is like 2 years hard work.
Right. So how many guys are you? Are you 3 or 2? Just the partners, like?
3.
We're 3 partners, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
The other one, he unfortunately couldn't make it because he has a family and children.
Right, nice, wicked. So I was just about to ask you, how do you manage to build your huge contacts? Because lots of different people with different backgrounds, which is really good for business. And then you just said that yourself that, because you've been working hard and you've got great followers and all that, they've been loyal and been following you all around. That is pretty much amazing. Now, talking about, you said reading books, you read some books, and all that. So my question is, do you have any formal training? Have you received any formal training? Did you go to cook school or so, whatever it is?
No, I never was in cook school, but I was always cooking at home when I was in Spain, back at the days when I was a child.
Right.
And here my first job was in a Mexican restaurant.
Mexican restaurant?
Yeah, I come in 2011. After 3 weeks, I got a job.
Right.
In a Mexican restaurant, and that's why I do tacos now. Because.
What was the transition like from when you first came to Vienna, Austria, to now? Has it been a rough journey? from 2011 or 2010, I don't know, to right about now? Has it been crazy? Has it been mad? You started off working at a Mexican restaurant, and you know, there's also some Chinese whispers that used to be a model, right?
A model?
A model, yeah.
Yeah, I was a model. Yeah.
Right. How did that happen? I mean, you know, was this way before you started cooking?
To come here in Austria and Vienna was like an action, like every day something new, very fun. You know, I born in Barcelona, in Europe.
Yeah.
Europe is the same. Here, they're more quiet, more respect.
More reserved, yeah.
But it was not difficult to me to integrate me. I come here, learn the
language.
The language, you know, fast. I get friends, connections, and it was easy for me. But every day was like a challenge, and I love challenge.
So you started off as a model here?
No, I started working in this Mexican restaurant 3 months, and then I moved to Papiano to doing pizzas.
Right.
And it was until 2014, and then 2014 till 2011, 2014 working normal, and then I started to work in a model career.
Right. Do you still model on the side, or no? It's
No,
just
not anymore. It was not my passion.
Right. So what's West African cuisine all about? Since you're from Gambia, what's it all about? I mean, what's the concept? How would you describe West African cuisine? What's the food? Because if I had no idea about what West African cuisine is, how would you describe it to me? Is it spicy or non-spicy? Is it
spicy.
What is it like? Give me
Spicy, fresh dishes. Fish, a lot of rice.
Right. And what's the signature dish that customers keep coming for more, or what they love about the dish? What do they keep coming for more? What kind of dish? Is it the jollof, or is it the what's
peanut
it called?
butter. I think peanut butter chicken is the
peanut butter chicken, that one.
See, you can see it.
It's got more buzz, eh?
The peanut butter chicken is quite popular, but I think all of the dishes, Khalifa's created a fantastic menu, and it kind of appeals to everybody's taste.
Nice.
So a lot of people like to try different things. You know, some people have got the favourites, but really there's something for everyone. I've seen people come in, they tend to share plates. You know, they'll take 2 main meals and kind of share it with each other, and you know, with all the starters. So I think it's difficult to say that there's one that really stands out as a favourite, but yeah.
My favourite is the jollof one. The Gambian jollof, it's my favourite. You know, I always come for that plate, you know.
This is a Gambian jollof name, but it's not Gambian jollof. This is something they do with fantasy with.
What's it called then? What's it called?
No, it's jollof rice.
It's jollof rice.
But I do it. Gambians, when they try, they never see something like this.
Because it's the fusion. You've mixed it up, like so that you can. You know.
It was by accident. How I do one day, I didn't have the meat, the big meat, the goulash. No?
Yeah.
And I was doing delivery. I don't have this, and then I was by the Turkish. I buy this.
Minced meat.
Would you say it's similar to paella?
Paella, well, I can say.
Yeah.
But you know.
Was that the concept behind it?
The first time was not like this, my jollof rice, but by the time it's changing. It was changing.
So, do you have a process for comparing food and beverage cost to make sure you're maximizing the budget?
Well, there have been some calculations, obviously. The thing is that it's difficult to say. Sometimes you have food wastage. You know, you have to have some margin of error, and I think the most effective way is to look at it in hindsight. So at the end of the month, we try to look at how our expenses are or were, and then see how the revenues match with each other. I mean, in before we did some calculations, and we tried to make the calculations so that it's, you know, not overpriced but fair, and still throws off a profit for our expenses and for our efforts. But in the end, we have to, at the end of the month, we have to do a review and go back to it, and then we can see some, you know, there's some margin of error there as well. But we do try and maximize what we can, and be as effective as we can,
right,
and bring in a fair price to our customers.
Right, nice one. So where do you think restaurants are going to go in post-COVID world?
It's difficult to say, actually. I think a lot are going to rethink their strategy for the future. The problem is now it's just so uncertain. These times have just shown us that you can't really rely on, you know, you used to be able to say, okay, well, during the holiday season we're going to have such and such revenues, but for the future people are going to rethink if that's going to be so safe, and it's going to take a while for people to recover. And there's going to be a lot of businesses going bust, and at the moment I think only the ones that are really either doing the job well or that have been long established are gonna survive through this. It really is a tough time at the moment, but I think a lot of people are going to rethink about the delivery, are going to change the business model from just having a on-site food sale to having a kind of flexible offering where they can do delivery as well.
Well, I watched a program that now some of the chefs are actually doing virtual delivery, like I'm having this virtual thing going on where people can actually see what they're doing, explain how the food goes and why the food is being delivered to them, or they have chefs that actually cook for them, in their houses or whatsoever it is, but that's different. But yeah, lockdown is a bombshell, and obviously to an extent where we weren't expecting because of what is happening elsewhere in the world. From where we were actually engaging in Austria, did contemplate the seriousness of the virus and what the impact will be. And I've got another question. Are the margins pretty low and the quality of food less than you would normally do?
Because of COVID now?
Yeah.
So obviously we're missing out on a big part of our revenue because we've not got the customer sitting down and having some drinks as well with the food. I think the margins don't go much lower from the food side of the so on the food side of the business. But the revenue does go down. We're not at the stage where we were before COVID,
right?
But we're slowly working our way to there as well. We're trying to
because it gets to a point where you could only control the quality to an extent, and as soon as the food leaves the restaurant, what the customers or clients does with it, you don't have control over it, and then. In case you're traveling or you put it in the fridge or you rather eat it later, which obviously you don't have control of it. So does that really affect when you do your deliveries, like to customers, the freshness of the food and all that? I mean
definitely, not just the quality, also the presentation of the food suffers. But it is difficult. I mean, we had we try to work together with some delivery companies like Miam or Lieferando.
Right.
And the other day, this guy who was delivering the food just left his bag open, and we kind of said to him, man, the food's gonna get cold. It's like 0 degrees outside. He was like, yeah, it's on purpose, and then just gets on his bike and drives off. And for us, that kind of it hurts us because we put a lot of effort into the food and trying to get the best quality. And then you sometimes feel like the drivers themselves don't care that much, and when it gets to the customer, of course, it's not the way we would love to give the customers the food.
Yeah, of course.
So it is a bit difficult, but we try to do our best. We've tried to be as efficient as possible, just get the food there on time. So usually the riders come and pick it up after 10 minutes. We have delays in the riders picking the food up. It says 10 minutes, and then after 10 minutes it says another 10 minutes. Then it goes down to 1 minute, and then it goes back up to 10 minutes. Wow. I mean, we had situations where we just called the customer. We're like, okay, this rider's taking half an hour. We're going to get in the car. Where do you live? We'll bring the food up personally. We try and... Next to that, we also deliver the food ourselves as well. So some people just call in and we're like, yeah, sure, we'll bring you the food over, and try and keep the quality on that stage.
Do you deliver around all the CTC or specific areas?
It depends on how far away it is. We always have like a minimum quantity. So if it's like 5 minutes away, we don't really think, or if it's 10 minutes, everything that's above 20 minutes, it gets a bit difficult. We have to have a minimum food order because it's just not worth it. If you're like half an hour there and half an hour back for 10 15 euros, it's just not worth the time. We could be doing 10 15 orders in that time, and it's just not feasible. So we have to do some minimum orders then, but we do try and get as much as possible from Vienna.
Right, and you obviously get a lot of orders too, as well. Lots and lots of people are ordering, especially around this lockdown period of time. And what about since the restaurant was in operation whilst you were serving, and if it's booked, people still coming to pick up their food, right? You get a lot of people like that coming in.
We do still get people coming to pick up. Actually, yeah. We get a lot of people that just walk by. They see African Spanish and they're like, wow, we need to try this, and they just stop by, and it's just really spontaneous because we. have good exposure there at the Naschmarkt, and yeah, so that's okay. I mean, it's not as high as we would like it, because I think a lot of people do still stick to the lockdown. A lot of people are staying at home. A lot of people are on holiday that don't have to work or be in the office.
Right.
So we do notice it, but yeah.
And the new restaurant, where's the location?
The current location.
Yeah, the current location.
We're at Naschmarkt, Linkerwienzelle 42.
Since how long has that been? So a couple of months, right?
Yeah, we started in
23.
just middle of October actually. It's just been over a month and a half, I think.
So what do you lot see yourself in the next 5 years? Expansion going on, or what's up? Because, you know, roughly, where do you want to take this to the next 5 years?
We don't want to give too much away.
Just give us a little bit.
We do have plans, I think.
Okay.
Expansion, I think, is a good word.
Right. That's why I said that. You know, I said so.
But we want to keep everybody, keep a few surprises for ourselves. You know, not give too much away. But I think one thing we can say is we do not plan to stay with one location.
Nice one. Okay.
What would you say, Khalifa?
Yes, of course. Always.
Well, let's save that, right?
Always more or not in the comfort zone.
Nice one. So basically, now the Viennese public have been receptive to recipes, namely Spanish Gambian fusion, which is definitely exotic, with a few more influences of world cuisine, which is actually quite great. Is there any paid partnership or sponsors involved in this business?
No, actually, we're completely independent. We finance ourselves and we do everything ourselves. So yeah, we are free of any kind of ties to anybody, and we have a bit of
one thing I like about the chef is, like, you know, during the peak times, he comes around just to see if customers are happy, which is quite good. Makes people feel, you know, really special, which I think is really good, you know, coming around, seeing if the food was all right and all that. And, you know, and also one thing I've noticed, getting to the end of the night before the curtains get drawn, you come and do your salsa, you know, you display a little bit of your skills with the salsa with the ladies or whatsoever it is, so it makes it more interesting. Nice one. So is Khalifa single?
Yes.
Khalifa single. Okay. Right, ladies out there, Khalifa is single, happily single, right?
Yes.
So what is your ideal woman, roughly, like, in a nutshell? What is your...
We don't have.
You don't have any ideal woman, like, you know, what you want it to be like and all that?
I'm open for every country, every race.
Nice one, wicked
You can
one.
say.
So, are you familiar with Ghana and Nigerian jollof? Are you familiar?
Nigerian jollof, I tried once. But we're Gambians, we make the best.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. Ghana or Nigerian jollof? The jollof war.
Just tried the Nigerian one. I never tried the Ghana one.
Right. So, is it bachata, merengue or salsa?
Like salsa.
What did you get to learn all these
Bachata I like, but salsa is more, you know. We play salsa always.
Nice one, wicked. So, you've got massive followers here in Vienna, Austria. What would be the ideal advice out there for up-and-coming entrepreneurship, like business people that want to get into this kind of business? What would you tell them? What would be the main advice out there for them to, you know, because they look up to you. You know, you've got some people looking up to you lot. So yeah.
We say just focus and believe in your talent, and if you sell something that people need, because people don't buy what you have, they buy why you do it. So start with your history.
Right, start with your history.
Storytelling, why? Because I started with this before to sell my food. I born in Spain, my parents from Gambia, I grew up with this food, blah 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 blah. So this is so people can feel it. And they can believe in your
nice one, wicked.
Well your put. Dream.
Well put. Any other words, Armin?
Yeah, I think if we look at Khalifa's example, is just work hard for your dreams and keep on the grind. You know, COVID or no COVID, we keep pushing and make the best out of it.
Lastly, what's your social handle like? You know, social media. Where can we get you? Where can we find you?
Instagram,
to follow you on social media.
Instagram, Dampha Kitchen, Facebook.
Do you have the website?
No, we're working on that. We're working on that for a long time, but
I'm a classic.
I think we've had to solve some other problems at the moment concerning COVID. The whole delivery system, you know, signing up with these delivery companies wasn't easy, trying to speed, fast lane that. So a website is coming next. We hope to be able to put up an online delivery system and maybe even online payments, because we're noticing the decline of kind of the cash payments. Before we were in lockdown, we noticed about 70% or 66 to 70% were cash payments, card payments. And now with the delivery, when we deliver ourselves, you know, we keep getting the question on the phone, kind of, can we pay with card? So we're working on the website. It might take a bit, but we're trying to set it up in a way so that, you know, it's most convenient to our customers. Yeah,
that's good to know. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Would you like to give a massive shout out to all the viewers, listeners right about now? Everybody listening, massive shout out. Anybody, any people?
Shout out to everybody. Please come by after lockdown, or now in this lockdown time, you can come by to take out, or we can deliver it to your home. We're here always for you guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.